In 2012, Bengaluru's garbage crisis reached a tipping point. Residents living near landfills refused to let garbage trucks enter their neighborhoods. Within 2 days, the streets began to overflow with trash. The Garden City was now being called the Garbage City. Like other municipalities in India, the Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagar Palike, or the BBMP, collected the mixed garbage from street corners and trucked it to the nearest landfill. With some 3,500 tons or about 32 lakh kilos of waste generated each day and growing, the Bengaluru municipality and its citizens realized that this strategy of waste management was not sustainable. So a decentralized plan to manage solid waste was put in place. The broad strategy included separate modes of garbage collection for residential and commercial establishments, door-to-door collection of household waste, mandated segregation of waste at source into 2 categories, wet and dry waste, large-scale composting of wet waste, decentralized waste management processing units within localities with composting facilities, dry waste collection centers, state-of-the-art large garbage processing units for segregated waste, separate for dry and wet waste processing.
We brought in a lot of transparency in the system by involving the RWAs. We made them a group. We gave them a route map. Okay, we said that this is what you have a group of about 700 houses. You have these 3 RWAs are there who will be monitoring. How many houses actually the autovala has gone, whether it's collected, not collected. If there's any garbage left. If there is any black spot, whether it's black spot is the collection of garbage thrown to the streets. So we also try to identify which are the places from where this is coming. So the RWAs also helped us out in identifying those kind of people, and also they helped us in segregating the waste.
Today, Bengaluru has a population of close to 1 crore people, with about 25 lakh households. Out of the 3,500 tons of waste generated, about 50% to 60% is likely to be wet and organic waste. It's this waste that the BBMP wants to tackle on a war footing and convert it into compost rather than dump it in landfills. To achieve this, BBMP is actively supporting resident welfare associations of colonies and apartment complexes.
We generally have a good support from the RWAs, wherein that ward is divided into small groups, and then we have identified two to three active people who come regularly interact with us, and then we have taught them what is to be segregated and how it is to be segregated. So based on that, we just started off with an experiment on a small way, and then they saw that this were actually yielding a lot of results. And then we gave them the authority, like for example, we have a WhatsApp group which on each ward wise. So there we have officers as well as the RWAs who regularly interact with us, and even the expert committee members are also there. This one. So if something goes wrong, they immediately inform us. That this is what is happening. This is what we have done, and we advise them on that. So that was a good example, and then they started segregating, and it started off with say 10, 20, 40 houses, and it's really taken off in a big way.
For effective waste management, the BBMP has identified the source of waste based on the zones of the city. So in the Yelahanka zone, which has a population of 3.8 lakhs, 195 tons of waste is generated per day. Of this, 150 tons is wet waste, 28 is dry waste, 5 tons is sanitary waste, 9 tons is animal waste, 1 ton is green waste, and 2 tons is construction and debris. As apartment buildings with more than 50 flats are termed as bulk generators, they now need to segregate and compost their waste. One such apartment is the Purva Venezia in the Yelahanka zone. Amazingly, this is a zero-waste apartment complex.
first step to any management of waste is segregation at source. Once mixed cannot be fixed. You see, if somebody were to mix their food waste with a sanitary napkin or a diaper, nobody would ever want to put their hand into it.
Purva Venezia has more than 1,300 apartments with over 5,000 residents who discard more than 1,100 kilos of waste per day. But as the complex strictly follows the BBMP's guidelines for waste collection, no waste is picked up from apartments if it is not segregated.
Because of all these measures, we have been able to get our waste segregation at source to 98% in the month of December, January.
For waste processing, Purva Venezia has a dedicated area.
This is where we do the wet waste processing and the dry waste processing as well. There is no process for dry waste, it's just dividing of dry waste. The process of manure making starts with the first layer of the manure. So that one is spread at the bottom, then we line all of that with the food waste. So once the food waste comes, as you've seen, the garden waste is spread all over it, so that the carbon and nitrogen content is proportionate. We have got machinery which will divide the waste, which will mix the waste properly, and then accelerators like bioculum, that powder is added to the machinery and it is mixed properly, and then it is put into the racks like this. Probably at the end of 25-30 days, you will get good quality manure.
The dry waste generated in the complex is sold to recyclers, and the revenues are distributed to the workers in the apartment waste center.
People who put their hand into the waste and segregate should take that money. One is that, and philosophically our MC is aligned to that concept, where they say we would rather get it to those people who actually work at the OWC, because it's not an easy job to do.
The municipality is also encouraging institutions and corporates to segregate and compost. We visit the sprawling and lush green campus of the State Bank of India to see what initiatives they have taken. The SBI has contracted Bengaluru-based NGO Harsiru Dala to manage its waste.
We are doing total waste management service, like we are providing dry waste pickup service and wet waste composting service, and then garden waste composting service also. Here we are following two methods: wet waste composting and then garden waste composting. So in wet waste composting, we are following Inora method. So there is a 6 tanks. In each in the tanks, we are following Inora method. Inora method means it's an organic waste converter method.
In the process, the SBI and Harsiru Dala are transforming the lives of waste pickers who are now gainfully employed.
முன்ன வந்து 150 200 பார்க்குவோம். இப்போ வந்து ஒரே வாட்டி கும்பலாக பார்க்கும்போது ஒருத்தருக்கு கடமும் கட்டுறதுக்காவது பசங்களுக்கு அட்மிஷனு ஸ்கூல் ஃபீஸ் எல்லாம் கட்டுறதுக்கு கொஞ்சம் ஹெல்ப் ஆகுது.
The garden and canteen waste is turned into manure, which in turn is used to fertilize SBI's parks. This green initiative by SBI serves as an excellent example for other institutions to follow. Poonam Bir Kasturi, founder of Daily Dump, based in Bengaluru, has been advocating the importance of decentralized waste management, starting from the household level. She believes that the citizens and the government need to change the way waste is perceived and discarded. Daily Dump has been on the forefront of household and community composting. To enable citizens to compost, it has successfully devised a range of products that make composting of wet waste simple and convenient.
So in our urban lives, all of us, urban rats, all of us are looking for something that has meaning, right? We buy a fridge, we buy a washing machine, we buy a sofa, and we're very proud of it. And what we are saying is, you're buying all this and it's really great and it's important, it makes your life easier. There is this other product that you're missing out on. And this product it gives life. It takes something that is dead. For you it's dead, you call your waste dead. And it brings it back into life. You buy a fridge that delays death, you buy a composter, and you create life.
Suchitra, who lives with the family on the 4th floor of an apartment complex, has just purchased a kumbha, or a home composter from Daily Dump. We ask her why she started composting the kitchen leftovers instead of simply throwing them out.
Yeah, actually nowadays all the vegetables and fruits are coming with pesticides. So I want to have a terrace gardening at home, and I want to grow the vegetables and I want a manure. It be organic. It be full organic and composting. So I searched it and everywhere. So then I got to see the Daily Dump. They are making very good, great that composting. So I bought it from them. Then I started to make it on my own. All the compost, they have given all the rules and in the set of books. Then I started to do it well. So I got a compost in the first compost. It takes 45 days. So after 45 days, every 20 days you will get 2 kg of manure at home easily. So using that manure, you can grow all the vegetables and fruits and everything in the balcony or in the terrace also. So it's a very organic. See, today's we have to give a health, very good health for the kids. If whatever the money we are in, that is not important. If we are not healthy for tomorrow, it will be waste.
Here now this is Mavalipura plant. We have plants like this, almost 5 to 6 plants we have. What we do is in grassroots level, we'll ask for segregation. We'll take segregation waste. Previously we used to give, it used to be most of the time it used to be mixed, and we got a lot of problems with the garbage destiny, Then we made it now 100% we wanted to give only segregated waste. We are collecting segregated. For this now we are taking help of corporators and NGOs and local residential welfare associations, and we are almost we are completing 30 to 40% we are getting, and some layouts we are getting even 80%, 90% also, but the average I can say 40% we are getting. Definitely for this Mavalipura we are getting 80% segregation.
More segregated waste is now being collected, and it is being trucked to dedicated waste processing units like Mavalipura, where 200 to 300 tons of wet waste is delivered each day for composting.
Of the garbage received, and then it is noted down, and then it comes to the windrow. Windrow is a process where the garbage is unloaded after spraying Ernakulam and to avoid this smell and other things. There the process is taking at least 30 to 60 days, where it is been turning in different stages is made, and then from there it is been fed into 36 mm to 16 mm. There we get some rejects. Whatever rejects are coming out, it is taken out, and from there it comes to the 4 mm trommel, where this 4 mm is the final product after the rejections, and this is called as the compost. This compost utilized as organic compost, which is used for the agriculture purpose and all these things, which is in for plantation and other things.
And even the future plan is, even we don't want to send to this processing units also, we wanted to make it ward level and individual home composting and community composting, and apartments now we wanted to make in situ facilities, and whatever the ward level 15 to 20 tons we are getting from each ward, that also we wanted to make in ward level only. That's what our future plan.
Clearly, BBMP's strategy of waste segregation and composting at source needs to be adopted by other municipalities to effectively manage their waste.